Okay, so this is the video that I did that I was trying to get spring survivability, all of that. And Johnny left me a comment that is really along a lot of what I think myself. And um, simply because of the questions he asked. This is going to be part one of probably, I have no idea how many videos of just the questions. Okay, for the weather conditions on November 10th, this is them. And I want to expand this out for the next week, simply because it seems like it took a week for Kenny to be even reported missing. But all of these temperatures are very friendly. I mean, considering what the temperature is here right now, granted it's a month later, but our temperatures in western Colorado are 23 degrees. We had a high of 32 and a low of 19, so it'll drop down to 19 sometime. Well, it probably did this morning around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So there's that's a little bit of a temperature variation. But if you look Tuesday, 55, 73, Wednesday, 57, 73, 57, 72, 61, 72, and we are going to go out to the 17th. 57, 72, I might have caught that one. 61, 72, 54, 70. It wasn't until Sunday that things started to change. 46, that's still very livable. 54, that's comfortable to me. 37, 57, again, very comfortable. I'm not. Yeah, it must have just been a storm passing through, heading east, following the jet stream. But 41, 61, 45, 61, 45, 63, and then it looks like it goes right back into normal temperatures for that area, is what I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know if this is normal or not. But November 14th, or November 2014, weather in Las Vegas. Now, this is Las Vegas. This is not up on the Sheep Range. Simply because, as far as I know, there's not a weather station out there. But somebody that lives there would have to, verify if these temperatures, does the temperature in town match what it is out there? I honestly don't know. But as far as these temperatures all go, those are very, very doable. Now, let's see. That covers the weather conditions. Okay, he says clearly it was unusually warm for that time of year and shows that Kenny was not at risk of hypothermia, whichever route he took. The heat that day shows Kenny could certainly have kept his shorts on for the hike up Joe May Canyon, then changed into warmer gear at the mine. This is the most logical explanation for the phone and change being put on the ground and mislaid. I am in western Colorado, and so I I I don't know that he ever hiked in shorts. I'm not gonna say he didn't, but I I don't know. Most of the time when you go out, you'll wear layers, meaning you'll have on long johns, then you'll have your pants on. And if you get too hot, pull off your long johns, put your pants back on. And I mean, I've already been elk hunting and had my fly down, had my zippers on my legs, up, just trying to get all the circulation I could. I had wool pants on, and I had shot an elk, and when we started packing him out, whew, talk about going into overheat mode. It was right now. But when you got 125 pounds extra on your back and you're packing out, it just kind of works like that. As far as that goes, I'm not gonna argue this either way, simply because, to be honest with you, I don't know. One of the questions I have: who is Kenny? For a guy that went missing, why is his family so quiet? I mean, it's almost like you can't get them to say shit if they got a mouthful. If you don't like that, sorry. Other than this headline news thing, and to be honest, I really think that was nothing more than a view grabber, trying to push all the Area 51 and Nellis Air Force Base and the Alien Highway and all of that. Now his daughter, she said that he was a very fun-loving, happy-go-lucky guy. She did not believe suicide was even a thought or factor. His brother said that him and his dad, or him and Kenny, used to get dropped off out in the desert and they just grew up there playing. What I'm scrolling through here for is to see if possibly there is a picture of Kenny running around in shorts. That would answer the question that, okay, there is a strong possibility that he did wear shorts on certain hikes. I do not know. Desert camo and woodland camo. Yeah, I wear camo myself, so I wear camo more than I wear anything else. And we're going to get into the camo part of it here in a minute. Now, yeah, other than the pictures we've all seen a million times, and there really isn't any pictures that haven't been seen. His high school picture's been scouted out and shown, so anybody that thinks that they have exclusively found one single picture, maybe they haven't seen it, but there's a really good chance anybody that's been following this for a long time has seen it. Okay, so I'm going to call this on I cannot debunk or confirm the shorts theory. I do want to talk about the military BDUs for a minute. They are a synthetic cotton blend. When you get them wet, they dry really fast. Um, they are a really tight weave. They're a lot more stain resistant than, say, a pair of blue jeans or something like that. But yeah, this camo pattern right here, that's the same camo pattern I wear for desert. I just I like it a lot better than the bumblebee. I don't like that at all. I have a pair of Digitech, and um, honestly, I don't like it. It's I mean, it's not a bad camo, just as a hunter, I have certain camos that jump out and grab my eye, and I have camos that I really don't like. This camo, for where I'm at in the high desert, I can melt into rocks, I can melt into the trees. I love this camo. So that covers that. Let's see where we're at. I'm not going to disagree with this. I believe with those temperatures, I know I could go out there and hike with shorts on. I know somebody will say you'll freeze your ass off. Well, you know, you might if you live there. I don't live there. I live at a much higher elevation. Going down into those temperatures is going to be like, oh, early October for me. So, I mean, it just is what it is. Maps. I can show you all of the maps that I have: Zoom, Overview, Live, Widget, Revolver, Maps and Radar, Radar Maps, Weather Maps, Topo Maps, Flash Earth, Driving Directions. I don't know what the hell this is. Google Earth, Google, and Onyx. My favorite is Onyx, but I have had it for the last 3-4 years, and what I like about it is the way that I can mark everything. Plus, I just, I love it. It has certain filters for Rocky Mountain elk. It has water filters. I can turn on whatever I want. I can turn on the turkey filters for turkey hunting. I mean, I imagine I would have to look, but I would imagine there's a filter that I can use for bighorn sheep, because I'm pretty sure that the Wild Sheep Foundation filters on there. But for 2014 at the time, as far as popular maps, it was Google Maps, Google Earth, Flash Earth. Flash Earth is Bing, powered by Bing. The topographical maps, they were out. Me and a buddy of mine, we used to look at them. I think all of these I would look at and then figure out I didn't like them because you can't do anything with them. Anyway, you couldn't, but I never deleted them. Now, one thing that I do want to look at is hard copy 3D maps. When I used to go all over Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, picking up shed horns, we used to buy these 3D maps. They weren't $45 at the time, but they are basically a search for anything. Alright, just for fun. Sheep Range, Nevada. And let's see what we can get. Apparently they do not have one on this site for Nevada. So let's go back to, oh, this is Etsy. I think this site's a custom 3D maps, Mount Washington, North Carolina. Let's go back and I can't remember. I bought mine for where I used to pick up sheds. When I say sheds, what I'm talking about is antlers. I really don't give a shit about all these cookies and all this shit. I'm not coming back here. As far as I know, he may have had just a book like the Randy McNally. Let's see. Personalized maps. Featured. Apparently this ain't it. Anyhow, we used to buy those, we used to buy these maps. What the hell is this? And it was basically a big plastic sheet, and you had to be pretty careful with it, otherwise the damn thing would crack, and once it cracked, then the damn thing was coming apart. That's definitely not what I was. I don't even know if they make them anymore, to be honest with you. So that's probably something. They were expensive, so anyhow, I mean, as far as the maps go, for Kenny to map his routes out, I don't even know. I don't know anybody that would, in his family, that would even give us a straight answer. To be honest with you, I have no idea. Let me see where we're at. To eliminate the accident theory, we must find every feasible route that Kenny may have took on the 10th and look for possible accident spots. I agree. I believe Kenny was a high altitude hiker, and the answer to this mystery will be found one way or another by focusing on the higher ground that is more difficult to access on a single day hike. Alright, let me do this. I thought I had everything open that I wanted open, but apparently that was the one part that I forgot. I would agree with that. I mean, I don't want to say that from the mine through Picture Canyon back across on the desert, I don't want to say that that's a joke of a hike or anything else, but if you look at the ruggedness of this, and you look at all the videos that are out, I mean, look at Scott Nuttall. Scott Nuttall, phew, holy cow, he's an animal. All of his hikes. Then you look at these latest ones by Aqua Chigger. Those are showing exactly how brutal this is. Look at Jeff Claw's videos from the last three, 3 or 4 months, I believe it is, where he is coming across the desert, and he's showing. This makes it look like a guy could take off across here with a sandwich and a bag of chips and just smooth it on through. That ain't happening. Not from everything I've seen. And then where you have Aqua Chigger, where he came up from cow camp and hit both of these springs, and then came back. I think he dropped down into here. I think he came back over these and came back out around, came back down to here. Then he came back in and tried to climb up into the canyon where he saw that, where he thought Kenny saw the sheep at. And this might not be specific as to right where he came up. He could have came up over, well, he didn't come up over here, I know that. So he came up closer to the mouth of the canyon. That whole hike that Chig done, hell, even the hike that he did coming up here where he got up on the peak, there's nothing nice about this country. So, I mean, now, the only thing that I wonder about, if you go up and then you come down, all this ground in between is uncovered. Now, granted, you're looking up, you're looking for little holes, you're looking for everything else, and any place a person might be, but if in the accident theory, if you fall and everybody assumes broken leg, broken arm, I'm pretty sure that a person could take a t-shirt off, make some kind of a sling just to stabilize an arm, and you could walk yourself out. Is it gonna suck? Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna go into the suck factor. If you break a leg, if you have any basic first aid knowledge, you could untie your shoe, and depending, if it's below the knee, you could immobilize the leg and do a splint. Try to find a fork branch to build a crutch. But what do you have to go down? If you fall and you have a head injury, you might not even know who the hell you are or where you're at, and you could follow yourself right up your own ass. But that's where the accident theory I try to leave alone personally, simply because there are so many things to factor in. I mean, if you look at Chiggs, wherever it was when he was trying to get up into that little hole and he had to pretty much snake walk, and this is definitely not where, I'm not saying this is where he was. I have no idea. I just picked this spot because it's rocky, and there's a hole in a rock formation, and he followed a little goat trail back over, looked into the hole. But if that would have been loose rock and he would have slipped, depending on how many times he bounced down, hell, the fall could have killed him. And then with the weather and the runoff, if you got a couple of winters of good snow, I know 2016 here was the last winter we really had where we had heavy snowfall, we had good runoff, where the creeks were really, really smoking it. So, I mean, there's too many factors. So, and in let me see. Yeah, in the next video that I do about this questions about Kenny, I'm going to look at a couple of other things that really have me kind of wondering. But, the whole thing is, you've got to question. You cannot just make a mindset and think, this is it. This is how it is. And by God, there's nothing else that's going to change it. I mean, well, you can. You can do that if you want to. I mean, all you're doing is hurting yourself because you're refusing to think. And I really, really believe that for this to get figured out, it's going to be when all of the I gotcha and this guy don't know what the hell he's talking about and the big egos pretty much get shoved aside, and people will start kind of working together on it, because there's a few people that are willing to share. Scott's willing to share. Jay's willing to share. Andrew, he shares a lot. He's in the UK, but he's pretty much on top of a lot of this, and he does a pretty decent job for his only really information is based on what people are willing to share. So he does a hell of a job. Jeff Claw, he does a good job. I would say Chuck Vlogs does a good job. That kid's a hiking machine. He might not be a kid. He's younger than me, so he's a kid. But his camera is so high definition that by the time he reprofiles a video, you end up with 1-2 minute videos, so you really don't get a lot of information. But anyhow, Atari's hell on wheels with her research. She does a hell of a good job. Might not always agree with I might not agree with any of them. I might have my own thoughts, just like on this Aquachigger hike. I mean, all you have to do is listen to him, and he tells you what he's going to do, and he's pointing back in towards these really rocky ridges, so I believe he came down, got back in here, came over the top, came back down, got over here, got to where that big agave pet is, and then he went ahead and went on down the canyon. He made it out, he had daylight, so he went back up the canyon, and I'm fairly certain that I know it wasn't an easy hike, because he said he wanted to come up out of the canyon and get up to the rock formation. I'm kind of thinking this is where the bighorn sheep was, which maybe not. I don't know, because none of this looks the same whenever you're watching the videos and then you're trying to put it together. But anyhow, how it was back out in here, because it was way after he came through here. So it might have been right up in here. So he might have come up and tried to come up this. Regardless, I don't care about pinpointing that particular part of it. For me, it is more, let's answer the questions, let's get into the questions, and see what we can actually find for answers, and then go from there. Alright, I long-winded this one way more than I wanted to. But yeah, I agree. I mean, Johnny makes some really good points. He's asking questions, and to be honest with you, that's pretty much what I think people should do. And you know, there's always a few out there that are not going to work with anybody. So with them, I mean, if somebody's going to be rude, I don't care. I don't have to give them a view. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. All right, I will bring out part 2 here sometime in the future. All right, later.